Hello and welcome back. This is Insti and I'm continuing the Asylum. We're still not closer achieving our main mission with it. What is remembering my past. Wait. Play music box. I did play the music box. Where did it load? Okay, now it's that's weird. So we had this weird symbol on the floor, and Bertrand is back to his trance like nothing ever happened. So yeah, remembering my past. What else do we down below? Yes, there was some kind of a weird mushrooms, maybe. Please don't make me use the strange machine. Anyways, I don't know what to do next. Maybe find Leonard, maybe. So let's move on. 1 a.m. Okay, nice.
Psst. Hey.
Oh. Well, that was easy. Hello?
Lenny, what are you doing here?
I was cleaning the showers, and I heard something. What were you doing inside that cell?
I saw something very strange. I can't explain it yet. However, a picture is beginning to form in my head, but there's still a lot I don't understand.
Maybe I can help you.
You can? Please tell me how, Lenny. I'm growing more and more desperate by the minute.
I have a key.
Ooh.
I took it a long time ago, before they released us from the Institute, around the time of the event.
A key for what?
Can I trust you?
Of course you can, Lenny. And I trust you as well.
All right. This is the key to Dr. Hawthorne's office. He knew things. There was chaos all around, and nobody saw me when I took the key and locked his office.
Dr. Hawthorne? Of course. Ebis Baker mentioned him in one of her recordings. He was quite close to the head director, right?
Yes. He kept secrets inside his office. You should look inside.
Thanks, Lenny. This is hugely helpful indeed.
Oh, one more thing. I was never able to enter the head director's office. None of the keys I took while cleaning worked. I think Hawthorne kept that key with him.
So Hawthorne's office may lead me to Hanwell's office? Interesting. Well, here we go.
Here's the key. And good luck.
Well, thank you, Lenny. Well, that makes things easier, maybe. So we are going to the Hawthorne's office. And Dr. Hawthorne. What did I... Anyways, let's keep moving. So if I remember correctly, the office is in this floor. Or is it? Ah, Julia is gone. For now. Was it here? Oh, yes. Nope. Thanks to Lenny, I had access to Hawthorne's office. Well, thank you, Lenny. You're a savior. You're a scholar. As if to foreshadow hideous revelations awaiting inside, the first drops of rain began to fall when I trespassed into Dr. Hawthorne's office. It seemed like no one else had been here in a long time. Something. Okay. An antique sofa which conferred a sense of importance, matching the sober decoration in the room. Sober? Oso still loomed outside, its hypnotic ebb and flow presaging further horrors that no doubt awaited me. Dr. Ellis Houghton, a psychiatrist, one thing was certain, he had an impressive career in his field. Okay, good to know. Yes, we are making the first incision to the patient right at the sternum, yes. Oh, very marvelous. Oh my. I don't know. Sorry. I just woke up. Dead birds? Well, I might have gone different way with the art style. I'm afraid my colleague, Anne, has elected to take an inferior direction in her career. I try to be open-minded while considering new ideas, but my goodwill doesn't extend so far as to resorting to shortcuts when it comes to advancement of the healing arts. As much as I can fathom the notion of an integral approach, contemplating the impact of emotions on our behavior, biology is definite. Our physical body reacts to physical impulses. We could spend ages assessing the mind's response to kind words, but ultimately it's the configuration of our phenotypes that matters. One cannot possibly identify a subcortical disorder by means of conversation. The direct stimulus of cells will always secure the path to success when dealing with obvious alterations to the brain. Yet Eberspacher insists on her holistic approach, which inevitably devolves into a waste of time. Our society is crumbling, swift action is necessary, and in the case of this establishment, we are also spending valuable resources which are dwindling every day on her theories. Since I was hired at Hanwell Mental Institute, I've had the good fortune to work with various unique patients, investing a great deal of time in learning about their issues. Many of these are behavioral complications deeply rooted in their minds without a clear solution. Miserable subjects exhibiting a debased attitude who couldn't possibly fit into the world of civilized men. I find value in dedicating efforts to those without the real hope. Patients unable to produce a single neurotransmission that results in a meaningful stream of thought productive to society. But phony misfits who merely demand attention, the paranoid, the lonely who mistakenly confuse the cacophony of modern life, assaulting our senses each day with actual mental problems. Eberspacher can fritter her hours away as much as she wants. My issue is the money involved. In the end, our existence is biological accident. It's the glorious expression of our genetic material that confers meaning to our lives, and the only tried and proven way to deal with the ailments of our bodies is via the practice of standard medicine. And thus, a shattered brain can only be fixed by physical means. Yeah. Sure thing. It was a selection of books on philosophy. Dr. Houghton seemed to have many erudite interests. Well, he's reading philosophy while still thinking that everything... Okay. There's a key over there, and... Wary as I am about recording such notes on paper, Walter insisted that we thoroughly document these experiments for the benefit of our research. It's true that the process of writing in journal allows one to more efficiently collect thoughts and ideas, make sense out of them. However, I'll have to strengthen security measures. To begin with, I've asked the janitorial staff to refrain from cleaning my office. At first, we tried straightforward questions. What did they see? Could they hear any sound? How large is the chamber? Yet they seem to have no recollection of the encounter. Next, we followed with a set of more specific inquiries. What is the being inhabiting that chamber? Does it look like an animal? Can you describe its shape? Did it move? Nothing worked. Their minds are completely blank, as if that moment was erased from their memories. However, there's no question that whatever happens inside that chamber provokes a severe reaction in them. The procedure is rudimentary, to say the least, but effective. We tie a rope around each patient's waist and push them inside, resisting the temptation to gaze beyond the threshold with all our might. It's hard to tell from our vantage point next to the doorway what transpires in the interior, but we don't sense any movement. Apparently the patients remain still or are paralyzed even. After a few minutes, we firmly pull the rope and haul them out. Bruises are inevitable as they hit the ground, but there's no better way of doing this. They don't react to any stimulation while in that chamber. Walter then uses the device to lock that strange door. He's far more knowledgeable than me on such esoteric matters. We believe what the patients experience is unbearable fear. Our initial guess that they were becoming paralyzed was correct after all. It's like they shut down in the presence of that blasphemous form before them. Their human brain is such a marvelous organ. Even their deeply damaged minds react to protect them when they're in danger. As we drag them out that ancient room, we can discern an expression of absolute dread on their faces. Insane or not, human emotions are still the same. Yet they return to their old selves shortly afterwards as we drive them back upstairs. Oh, interesting. Human guinea pigs. I now understand what we must do. The goal is to instill fear. Their minds are clearly processing the visual information. The theory is that if we are able to reproduce the conditions of the encounter, we should be able to recover details about it. Even if one patient is unable to describe it all, we could piece together a more accurate picture from multiple recollections. Our current approach is savage. We subject them to extreme situations in hopes of prompting a reaction. I'm not proud of blatantly beating someone like some goon, but the promise of their knowledge and purpose concealed in the chamber is too powerful and supersedes my dignity. However, these methods aren't working. They react to pain, they cry and scream, but they don't do anything else. It's not true fear. We are not replicating the conditions well enough. This afternoon I spoke with Eberspacher about the regression she's observing in Group E. Of course I had to play the fool, but her incessant babbling formed an idea in my mind. For instance, H has pyrophobia. The mere thought of fire or talking about it makes him tremble in fear. Eberspacher recalled an instance during one of her therapy sessions in which a patient causally said something random about firefighters, and H instantly became agitated, tears rolling down his face. Hodgson, yes. Following this revelation, I took him to the boiler room. The incandescent red glow from the incinerators, the shadows flicker in the walls, and the intense heat emanating from every corner in the room caused a wild reaction in him. I proceeded to question him about the encounter, and finally an actual detail emerged. He simply said, "Big." But it's not enough. More stimulation is required. Further efforts have involved more extreme measures. Simply placing the gas burner in front of him provoked a state of shock, not unlike what we surmise occurs within the walls of that room. Poor soul H can't grasp that an industrial incinerator is far more dangerous than a small laboratory burner, but who am I to judge his emotions? However, that state of fear wouldn't allow me to press on. He didn't respond to any of my inquiries, just kept silently staring at the flame, so I moved the burner closer to his chest. Well, that explains the burning marks. Leveraging their fears is indeed the key. We managed to obtain much more information from these new sessions than from all our previous efforts. A picture is beginning to form. JC, afraid of dark. LH, brittle bones. Lenny. RB, sexual act. BL, denigration. Lenny. And then we have that lady. So we could be JC or BL. Maybe. Does this work?
This is the next subject.
want?
Well, you may not remember this, but yesterday you went inside a place. A big room. We need to know what happened in there. What did you see?
I don't remember.
You need to make a big effort to remember, Lenny, or unpleasant things may happen.
There was a tunnel, but not ours. Things looked different. The smell, oh, such a bad smell. And then, no.
What happened next, Lenny?
At the end of the tunnel, I entered a room. Oh, my head was in pain. So much pain.
Describe that room for me.
I don't want to go back. I don't want to remember.
Describe that room. Now.
It's so large. The walls are strange, with shapes I've never seen, and there's a glow everywhere. And in the center,
What is at the center of the room?
no!
What did you see?
My head is pounding.
Think. Think. Remember.
No.
You must remember, Lenny, for our sakes. What did you see in the room? I'll turn off the recorder until he's ready to speak again.
Bloody hell. We have a videotape recording. If Lenny was right, then this was the key to the director's office, which was now in my power. So they found something, obviously, and they sent patients to discover what's inside because they were too afraid to see themselves, and torture them for information. Great! What a lovely place. Oh no. Hawthorne had to put away his dignity while torturing the patients. Oh no. Wait, was it on the second room there? Yeah, the tape player. You want to see that? It's interesting that Bruno also complains headaches, so when you're closer to the source, it probably causes headaches. So they dug too deep. Oh. It's not here. Where was it? It's not in the museum. It's got to be in downstairs then. Sorry about that. Oh, I went too far. Like them bastards, they went too far. This is a washing room. Now we're in the right place. Come on. Excuse me. I guess that's the one who has fear of dark.
Careful, the artifact.
Interesting. Wait a minute. Yeah, the music was quite loud. Sorry about that. It wasn't earlier that loud. Could we go downstairs and get that artifact? Or check that crate now? I might as well go and check it. And then, of course, we need to go to Hawthorne, Hanwell's office. Wait. Yes, this is the right way. Someone, presumably patient, had been thrown down there for reasons too disturbing to ponder. So we can't do anything with that, apparently. Bloody hell. No. It all indicated that something important had been left down there, but opening this trapdoor was out of the question. Huh. Okay. At least for now. I think we will... Is this the right floor? Yeah. And... Yep. Right over here. Yes, yes. Et voila. 2 a.m. At last I found myself at the heart of the Institute, the director's office. Was I going to find inside the answers I was desperately seeking? Maybe some of them. Not all of them. Striking paintings decorated the wall of this office. Walter Hanwell. Stern bastard. I couldn't make out what these charts were filled with, or why they were in his office in the first place. The human mind. Oh, nice painting. Or drawing. Probably painting. A large collection of books, mostly focused on topics of surgery and psychiatry. Excuse me. And it must have been quite the honor to display all these framed diplomas. Yes. A tall ladder used for reaching the books in the upper shelves of his private library. The director seemed to keep his belongings neat and organized. A cozy coffee table decorated at the corner of the office. The elegant fireplace was a neat match for the style of the room. Striking paintings decorated the wall of this office. Oh, there's an elegant urn which hopefully didn't contain any sort of cremated remains. As you can see, we have removed the leg. The switch didn't work. It may have been the painting of renowned artists, but it felt like a sadistic act of torture. Now here we are, removing this boil from your face. Don't move, don't move. I just snip it out. Okay, we have quite a few things to check. We prepare to delve deeper into the tunnel. Alice had a few words with the security staff, playing the bad cop as usual and warning them about the patients often going missing, while I returned them to their cells. Afterwards, as things went quiet, we grabbed a lantern each and scouted out the regions beyond the crevice. The smell was nearly unbearable as we traversed tunnels. I could recognize the handiwork of our metal crew in carving out the walls, but suddenly the shape, or rather texture, of the tunnel began to change. It was still man-made, dare I say, but yet different, clearly the result of more crude tools. The rocks had developed a shiny, slippery surface massaged by the history of who knows how many countless centuries, millennia. As we stepped forward, we noticed curious patterns on the stone walls and also objects such as pots, effigies, and other fragments scattered on the ground, which were covered by a layer of spongy moss. Somehow a whole ecosystem had survived within these underground prehistoric walls. I pondered the deeper secrets that could be concealed within the bowels of this towering cliff. When I grabbed one of the items on the floor, my eyes were dazzled by a craftsmanship unlike anything I've seen in my life. Not even specialized publications or museums. It felt strangely alien, with hints of human crafting, yet at the same time it was not quite human. When I showed a weird sculpture to Ellis, he seemed more excited than I expected and urged me to move forward. We resolved to move these fascinating objects to a location where we could properly research them. We both agreed that the third floor of the hospital, currently in disuse, would be a suitable spot. Needless to say, there was a mutual agreement to keep this find from the rest of the staff. The continued investigation of these newfound underground tunnels are far more important than the remodeling of the building. Ellis warned me about expenses and such, but I dismissed such mundane considerations. Words aren't enough to convey my excitement. My hands are shaking with adrenaline as I transcribe the account with what we found at the end of the tunnel. It is beyond our comprehension, an ultimate glorious secret, right here beneath us. Ellis, impetuous as he is, motioned for us to go in, but I caught a glimpse of his presence which was enough to paralyze my body and mind for what seemed like an eternity. Yet a fleeting moment must have passed as I grabbed Ellis's arm and ordered him to stop. We cannot go in. Our rational minds wouldn't be able to stand it. The same patients from Group E as before are the key to making progress. It's nothing short of a miracle that our financial woes prompted us to resort to using our own patients to conduct the work rather than a professional construction crew. The patients have no idea what we found, and even if they spoke out, who would believe them? Tunnels, weird smells, strange artifacts. An idea is forming in my head. I'm sure Ellis will agree. It turns out their fears are more useful than we thought. They help us to come closer to the entity. I know other words to describe him now. No rational mind can withstand his sight. After all, what do we know about reality? It's all merely electric impulses traversing our neurons. But if an alien being operates beyond the limits of our comprehension, those impulses would fry our brains, unless our minds aren't operating correctly to begin with. They are indeed able to visualize something we couldn't possibly process with our sane mind. The fear they experience when they enter that chamber is evidently unbearable, according to their own testimonies, even worse than long-standing fears from their own past. Yet, something sticks in their damaged brains. We are unable to recover that information unless we somehow reproduce the same emotional conditions as those the patient had upon entering the chamber. So far, we've been able to recover one piece of knowledge from each one by stimulating them to experience their past fears using various methods. If we put everything together, then maybe. Yes, stimulating. An unexpected turn of events. All patients presented to the entity have developed an anomaly, something physical change in them. As far as we can tell, they are all developing brain tumors. Why this is happening, we can only guess, but the evidence is unquestionable. Is it that even their damaged minds can't withstand the glorious sight of the being underneath, or is there a deeper meaning behind this alteration in their physiognomies? Physiognomies, maybe. We have no choice but to further investigate these tumors, yet we can't do it alone. The extracted tissue must be subject to standard procedures and thus thoroughly analyzed by our pathologists. For obvious reasons, the source and nature of these masses can't be disclosed. We can't just drop them on their tables either, as questions would be asked. It's a blessing as it is that the strabber is working properly and leaves no scar. But we can't push our luck. Eberspacher is growing suspicious. We toyed around with the idea of firing her, but that might draw attention that we can't afford right now. Ellis had the brilliant idea of stimulating tumor growth in the same rodents already assigned to oncology. It's another fortunate coincidence that they're genetically similar enough to humans. Soon they will be studied and we'll get the information we desperately need. Ellis will take note of the identification tag and watch the team closely. We established that the tumor to manifest one must remain in his presence for a certain period of time. Still, I asked Ellis to subject me to a brain biopsy after my fleeting glimpse of the unfathomable shapes during our first time in the tunnel, just to be sure I'm safe. Something isn't right. The patients, they're acting differently. It's difficult to pinpoint in what manner. They simply don't feel the same. Last night, H was found lost in the basement and we didn't take him there. Also, L is known to experience absent seizures. But today I observed him in the yard and he spent many hours just staring at the ground below him. They act as if... No, that can't be. Why would they? We must do something and soon. Eberspacher is bound to notice. I'll have Alice recommend shock therapy in the case of L. We risk an uproar, but there's no other option. My worst fears has been confirmed. There was very possibility something wrong inside me. Yet if that was the case, was there any solution at my disposal? The first step was to confirm the tumor was real. Oh no, we're gonna use the bunny machine, aren't we? A bunch of pencils scattered in the drawer. Come on. Empty. They look like ordinary annotations. Oh right, I totally forgot. We can check the other drawers too. The vision of Walter Hanwell. The Hanwell Mental Institute was founded by Dr. Walter Hanwell, whose remarkable knowledge in the field of mental health care shaped the philosophy and forward-thinking nature of the establishment. As a young and promising general surgeon, he became fascinated with how mental illness worked and firmly pursued his goal of understanding the intricacies of insanity. Dr. Hanwell actively encouraged colleagues and contemporaries in their studies of mental pathologies, earning him the reputation of benefactor of the insane. His strong legacy in the subject of psychology and medicine permeates every room in the Institute. Dr. Hanwell was also known for his open mind when it came to the application of experimental psychiatry, surgery, and more enigmatic forms of alternative medicine. One of Hanwell's greatest contributions to the field was the creation of the strab, an ingenious contraption for probing brain tumors, which is discussed later in this article. While this wondrous machine showed promise, it was developed too late for its time. He invented the strap just before the dawn of the new technological era, in which the proliferation of a far less intrusive magnetic resonance imaging used for the detection of brain tumors pushed it all too quickly into obsolescence. Walter Hanwell's approach to mental health care was not without its share of controversy. However, he was known for adopting a mindset strongly focused on achieving fast results, disregarding established ethical standards in the process. One example of this was his blithe attitude toward conducting experiments on live animals, a practice already rejected among his peers. An anecdote in the annals of Hanwell Mental Institute history describes a shipment of foul-smelling rats transported to the premises of this gruesome purpose. In later years, Dr. Hanwell's interest shifted toward a more holistic, perhaps even spiritual methods for uncovering the secrets of the mind. Interesting. Was that the last one? No, it seemed like a fine and expensive ink bottle. The director of this institute seemed to like handwriting. Yes, we know that. He liked to write letters. A random old book covered in dust. Ambrose, I must hastily write this letter to you as an unexpected turn of events may have happened, the long-awaited resolution of our work. Hampered, sorry. The book you recommended did indeed provide the means to understanding those primordial arrangements. Ambrose, we unlocked it. What an extraordinary document, so precise. What seems to be inside? I can't elaborate further and couldn't even if I tried my best, but I'm penning extensive notes for posterity. We must act quickly. There is a plan in motion, so to speak. It is far from the scholarly treatment excuse me, this immeasurable overdue encounter deserves, but circumstances are acting against us. We need visual information that few human beings are able to provide. However, as you rightfully said yourself, providence is on our side. I'll never finish the letter. Is that another letter? Yes. My esteemed colleague, I received news of your current line of research. What a remarkable find to think you choose to erect the building in the particular spot. Without the doubt, what was the button to... Without a doubt, the Moray have guided your way. See if you can locate in your local library a copy of the Scolic's Vellum, an ancient manuscript by an anonymous author which presents the alternate configuration of constellations, one deemed too profane by the would-be astronomers of his age. It's a fascinating read that you'll find of exceptional interest, and I believe it will also assist you in making sense of your fortuitous discovery. Yours respectively, A.M. So, Ambrose. Yeah, I could probably read it from there, but it would take a little more time. Can I check this? No. All bands are of no use to me. So, retrieve item in basement, get tissue sample of tumor, perform biopsy, remembering my past. Bloody hell. So the question is... What happened to her? Where's that infernal machine? Operating room, I guess. We could go if he is still inside. He's not. Anything I need from here? Dr. Miller was no longer working in the laboratory. Where had he gone? I had no idea what these tools were for, but I didn't want to find out either. You are doing a biopsy for your brain. More typical lab instruments, okay? The shape of the tool gave me the chills. It looked like painful. It could be, probably be painful, or maybe not. It wouldn't open. It wouldn't budge. None of these drawers seem to open. Okay. Fine, fine. Let's leave then. Ooh. Test tube. Oh. The influence of Ambrose Miller. Another notable chapter in the Chronicle of Hanwell Mental Institute involves the cordial relationship that developed between Walter Hanwell and Dr. Ambrose Miller. Oh, we already... Yes, we read that. Sorry. We already read that. I was so eager to start reading that I didn't realize we already read that. Yes. Rehabilitation. Which room works? The bed looks stained with both rust and organic material. Yes. We already have what we need, but... There was no sample in it. Okay. Is it working? There's only 2 settings. Okay, let's do this thing then. Hello there, Needle. Please work. Uh-oh. Just a normal afternoon. Oh, night, you know. I thought that would be harder, but it worked. Would you go there willingly by yourself? That wasn't going to help me to get some of the fluid. Do we still have the needle? Your syringe was filled with sedative. I needed to clean it first. Maybe here? How do I clean it? Ah. Carefully, I have cleaned the syringe as best as I could. Well, that was simple enough. No, that's not a medical tool we're gonna use. Neither is that. The syringe was now holding a somewhat sticky fluid with a red tinge. I was repulsed to realize this had come from inside my head. Ain't that great? Yes. Nope. I inserted the glass light in the microscope. Okay. No. Nothing of note. I have no idea what I'm watching. Brain matter, of course, but... So, what's the verdict? Something was missing, so I took the glass light again. I don't think we need the acid. Or do we? Okay. What does the note say? Get a tissue sample of tumor. So we need something to compare. Where would I get that? That is the question now. Hydrotherapy, and that won't open. There won't budge. So we need a... In order to determine whether my brain had been corrupted by unusual tumor afflicting a number of patients, I needed the tissue sample to compare against mine. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry about that. I got some messages. Maybe there's something in the laboratory I need. That would be the safe assumption to find samples, but... Wait, where did I go? Wrong way. There were rats there, which I wasn't allowed to touch. Huh. And they used rats as a... something to compare to. But how do I do that? Wait, before we do that. So these cages reminded me of my own condition, confined and searching for meaning. A sickening road that decayed a long time ago was still inside this cage. So we can use something for this, because of the mark. Maybe this? The wire cutter wasn't strong enough to cut the copper structure. Perhaps bigger one might have done the trick, but this wouldn't work. But... Can I stick the needle? No? Well, we have acid. Oh, it worked. Oh, bloody hell. So, that was the answer. Acid. Acid for blood. Is it in here then? Oh, great. There seemed to be a metal tag next to the rat with some kind of a label on it. TPT-091. Next to the rat. That's a... Just gruesome plot. There's no rat in it anymore. TPT 091. It's old rat. I'll have to mark that. So we can't take a sample out of the rat because there really isn't rat. I couldn't read the label from this position. Imported. A clue perhaps. Yes, it's a clue, but where do I use it? That is the question. Do you say something? Where do I use it then? Nothing pure decor. One room we haven't used is museum. Oh, sorry. Wait a minute. More messages. Be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. I actually checked the walkthrough, and yes, indeed we have to go to the museum. I don't know anything else except that we need to go there. Wait. So here we go. Now, if I would be a sample, where would I be? Probably not there. I have no idea. A series of radiographs showed various areas of human body. Okay. What's this? Oh. What was it? 091. So it would be this. TPT 091, whatever that meant. What is that? It seemed like a convenient spot for placing glass light to pick up samples. Oh, okay. Okay, let's do that. Where's my bloody sample? Oh, I thought we could pick up the tweezers. I picked up the tweezers with care. Do I use... It was dangerous to manipulate these tissues with my bare hands, and besides I could have ruined the samples. So yes, we used the tweezers. Apparently, or... I carefully took a tissue sample and placed it on the glass slide. Can I lick it? Let's take that. At last I had both samples ready to compare. Okay, good. Since it wasn't needed anywhere else, I left the tweezers in the exhibit. I wouldn't have remembered that. Oh no. So back to the room. And hopefully we will have some answers. Okay. I inserted the glass light into the microscope. Okay, let's check it. Would that... Oh no. So we have a brain tumor. I couldn't believe it. I had confirmed what I feared most. Nested deep inside my brain was an unexplainable tumor, the source of my visions and possibly the end of my sanity. Ah. That's not great. Retrieve item in basement. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Ah. Can we go to the 3rd floor? What items do we have? Speak with Lenny. Okay, we need to talk to Lenny. We have a wire cutter and key ring. I guess we need to talk to Lenny first, but I kind of want to see if we can go to the 3rd floor and check that out. Boarded and claustrophobic. Okay. Okay, Lenny is over there, so we know we will be coming here. But before that, anything else? Is this the theater again? Yep, yep. I'm kind of curious to see if we can find items in here. Wait, there was a map. Well, we're gone too far. I wondered where Lenny was. I had important matters to discuss with him before proceeding further. Okay, so that's it then. We're gonna go and talk to Lenny. The theater must have been charming in its old days. Now it was pitiful and dirty. The once classy chandelier was now a sorry feature of the theater. Was now a sorry feature, I mean. The ceiling had collapsed, rendering a good chunk of the theater useless. Well, that's a fair assessment, yes. Patients used to be encouraged to participate in improvised plays. Art is good for the mind and for the mind, nurses said. I don't think there's anything else. Okay, Lenny.
Lenny, what are you doing here?
I'm watching the show.
Show? What? Oh.
Why don't you sit with me and we can watch it together? It's very entertaining.
Lenny, please, you must listen to me. I have the tumor. I think you have it too, and Bertrand. We all do. Everyone in Group E.
I don't want to talk about that now.
But Lenny...
Maybe it's good if we don't remember. If I was in pain, I wouldn't want to remember. I'd prefer to be happy, like I am now.
My visions are getting worse. You will have them too.
Why are you doing this?
Because I need to know, Leonard. I can't afford to lose my mind again. I want to remain in control.
Oh, this next part is fun.
Okay,
Lenny, I saw a film. Horrible film. They locked someone in the basement.
I don't want to hear about that, please.
Just listen. In the film, there was an item that fell through a grate, and it seemed to be something of huge importance to the doctors. You know, the doctors that did this to us, Lenny. It happened in the boiler room.
Yes, the fire. I remember. It was so hot.
What's below the boiler room?
The sewers.
Do you have any idea what this item in the basement could be? It's something one of the doctors always had with him.
I remember a key, but it was a strange key, not a usual one.
A key? But for what?
Well, sorry, that's all I remember.
Did you hear anything else about this?
No.
What can you tell me about this third floor?
The doctors used to come here often.
For what purpose?
I don't know, but I think there's a secret here.
Time to see what they were hiding then. Lenny, do you remember seeing a red symbol? Like a circle with...
No! Stay away!
What?
Don't go there! That symbol means bad things. The pain.
All right, Lenny. No more talk about the symbol. Lenny, what did they do to you? I listened to a recording. It was horrible.
Yes. Now you know.
But why?
I guess sometimes people are just mean.
That may be true, but there's got to be more to this. They wanted information from you. What was it?
I can't. Please, I'm too weak. You must keep looking on your own. There's something down below that they want. Only we can see it.
Who's we, Lenny?
People with mind problems?
Are you okay now, Lenny?
I'm fine, yes. I don't feel pain anymore.
Those maniacs tortured us in the worst imaginable way, Lenny. Leveraging our deepest fears for their own gain.
Yes. It was different for each one of us. We were scared when the burly man appeared with new burn marks. We rejected him, but then it started happening to the rest of us.
Lenny, what did they do to you?
Since I was young, my body has been weak. I move slowly because I'm afraid to break something.
Oh no. Did they?
Yes. They broke me. That's the pain.
What the hell is wrong with this place?
What is your worst fear?
My worst fear? My fear. I'm terrified of losing control, Lenny. I must know that I'm in control of my own actions. I don't want to lose my mind. Lenny, please help me.
I can't. It's too late for me.
Did you hear anything else about this?
No.
Okay.
Nice talking to you, Lenny.
Well, nice would be a weird word, but yes. Well, let's go check the map before we venture forth. Can I not zoom in? Well, there's only one way to go, so... Let's start with the door A. Interesting paintings. Anything? Lauren S. Wood. Snake people. Zachary Blakely. Ugh. Actually quite interesting painting. Many cans of paints that had been emptied a long time ago. I kept thinking to myself that art could be anything, provided it depicted sincere human emotion without any commercial interest. Thus, even deranged patient was more sincere than most artists these days. I couldn't tell why, but the painting gave me a creepy feeling. Please don't eat the bird. Richard Pigman. Is it? Pigman's model? Lovecraft's story? The boarded up windows gave the room a claustrophobic feel. Yeah, we know that already. Alan... Take apart. Huh. Oh, the eyes and mouth is soon shut. Anything? No. I could not make out what it was exactly. An eye? Well, eye, abyss, hole, who knows? Right. It was a weird creation from the mind of a mentally ill patient. Yes. Okay, I don't think there's anything else. Oh, a piece of cloth stained with black paint, probably used by patients to clean their dirty hands. What do we have then here? There were many cans under the table, likely filled with dried up paint. Well, that is a most likely scenario, I would say, yes. What about room number 2? We need something for the wheel. The workshop was a calm place driven by the queer creativity of patients. Hanwell Institute was well equipped to address all the needs of the mind. I guess working on this ding was good for the mind of the patient. Yes. This is definitely a soul, as you can see. And later in life, it will crack open. Can I put light on? Nope, lights didn't work here. Nothing of interest here. It was jammed. Nothing. I'm trying to find something for the wheels. I could see the movement of bugs crawling inside the furniture. Bugs. There was nothing useful inside. Jammed, I guess. Stuck. Some kind of a clay dough, likely used for twisted artistic creation. Yes, twisted, like this one. Again, I don't see anything important in here. That doesn't really mean anything. That means most likely that I missed something.
Attention, Julia and all personnel. The high-risk patient has escaped again. He is very violent, more than usual. I believe he's rushing toward the 3rd floor. Proceed with extreme caution.
Okay. That's great. Oh. The door wouldn't open, so I had to try something else and fast. A soothing song wouldn't calm down a maniac this time, and besides, the piano was broken. No, it seemed to be a dead end. Hiding wasn't an option, and this spot would have been rather obvious. Bloody hell. As the madman was chasing me, I felt like one of the insects in the spider web. It was senseless to think I could escape through this window. Where do I go now? Oh, sorry, there. Music wasn't going to calm him down this time. Yeah. Besides, I didn't know how to play the piano. I was hoping the madman wouldn't try to break in. Okay. No prayer would have helped me escape from the madman outside. Nope. Hiding here was useless. In a rash thought, I imagined myself hurling a hefty statue toward the raving madman, but alas, there was no statue in the pedestal. Well, bloody hell. A long time ago, there might have been a statue positioned here. From the vantage point of these benches, chapel seemed much bigger than it was. What am I missing? An old pulpit and unusable. Oh! The door was open, but it seemed like a dangerous dead end inside. I thought about running away, but the corridor was long and the madman was too fast. I risked getting caught. I was crazier than the lunatic for even thinking going down there. Okay. I guess we are going there then. I wasn't sure what was behind this passage. It could have been a dead end. Oh. Following troubling rumors of patients being mistreated in the already alarming hospital conditions, the overcrowded Hanwell Mental Institute, once a beacon of international respectability, has succumbed to its worst episode yet. Readers are advised to proceed with caution as the following paragraphs present potentially disturbing descriptions. Disgruntled employees and concerned family members of patients have been warning the media about the atmosphere of neglect and allegations of misconduct in the establishment. So the brutal incident that transpired yesterday evening should not come as a surprise. A pregnant patient with severe mental disorders descended into manic state and performed a sanguinary abortion on herself. Nurses who witnessed the self-mutilation described the scene as a savage bloodbath, also stating that the patient was alone in her locked room without access to any foreign object. A nurse discovered a vile act thanks to a pool of blood spreading under the door. When pressed, she refused to reveal any further details about the gory scene inside the room. It is clear to this reporter that the famed Hanwell Mental Institute is spiraling out of control, and authorities should seize control of the building immediately. Madness in the hospital. A patient hurts herself savagely. Dear deranged ones. I guess we are going around. Fall of the Hanwell Mental Institute. As if signaled by heightened tension, an unprecedented incident catapulted Hanwell Mental Institute into chaos and confusion. An unsupervised patient mutilated herself in the most vicious way imaginable. The exact details of the episode continue to be unclear to this day, but the remaining staff at Hanwell spoke of a grotesque scene beyond the limits of human comprehension, which prompted something akin to a rebellion within the Ensagin's walls of the hospital. Word spread fast, and the authorities who had already set their sights on the establishment were quick to act. Had it been an isolated affair, the conclusion to this chronicle might have been different, but the combination of disenchanted employees, wild rumors, and growing public scrutiny spelled doom for Hanwell Mental Institute. In a heartbeat, authorities swarmed inside the building with the warrant order, apparently having prepared in advance for just such an occasion. What follows next is a tale of mayhem. Documents were seized, staff members taken into custody, and much of the facility equipment shut down. In the blink of an eye, Hanwell Mental Institute simply stopped functioning. The building was evacuated almost immediately, and all of its patients were redistributed across a number of smaller but more modern facilities. Of the executive staff, Dr. Ann Eberspacher turned out to be the most cooperative, speaking during interviews about the oppressive nature of her working environment. Dr. Ellis Hawthorne was found in the basement of the building, seemingly attempting to evade the authorities. This fact deeply damaged his legal case, as it followed grave accusations against him from the staff that were further supported in the statements made by Dr. Eberspacher. Dr. Hawthorne sought refuge behind a team of lawyers and continues to be embroiled in trials to this day. Dr. Walter Hanwell could not be found inside the building at the time of the raid. However, he willingly presented himself for questioning at a local police station some days after the grim streak of events. It transpired that Dr. Hanwell corroborated all of Dr. Eberspacher's claims, thus sealing the fate of his loyal right-hand man and apparent friend Dr. Hawthorne. Those who interacted with the once world-famous surgeon during these climactic moments were perplexed by his neglected appearance, so unlike that of the figure who once commanded so much authority and respect. No case could be built against Dr. Hanwell himself, who disappeared from public life shortly afterward, never again working in the field of medicine. More recently, a few years after the interlude of depravity that became downfall of Hanwell Mental Institute, the possibility of rehabilitating the symbolic building has resurfaced. Once again, Dr. Ambrose Miller, who is closely acquainted with its history, has expressed interest in helming the efforts to return the establishment to its glory days. Okay. The answer to my current predicament was not in these books. I'm guessing this is a door or something like that. It was certainly not the time for sitting down to relax. Well, I was awfully tired by now, and as tempting as those benches seemed, I had to end this. The only way was to proceed. To proceed where? Had I attempted to move across to no avail, however, it was still loose. Nothing of note. That didn't deserve my attention. I guess we'll go here too again. Okay, this is weird. Are we just, you know, going around and around? No, it seemed to be a dead end. Okay. We're still not going through here. I have no idea. Are we just, you know, going around and around until something happens? Looking at those torn apart benches, I realized that could have been me. I couldn't reach the cross from this spot. Okay, so do we want to reach the cross? I had managed to block this door, but the madman could still leave the empty room using the other door. Oh, okay. So there's got to be something that we can use to block the door. The door was open, but it seemed like a danger. Wait, wrong door, sorry. Anything we can use? Ah! Whew, okay, okay. That took me a little while there. Without the madman chasing me, I readied myself to explore the rest of the topmost floor. But I will leave that for the next episode. So next episode we'll continue... Sorry about that. We continue exploring this third floor and try to find out what the hell happened. We know some kind of a weird architectural thing is down in the basement with something in it, which causes us problems. So that will be interesting. We'll need to retrieve the item in the basement and explore the third floor. So that's what we are going to do on next episode. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode and I will see you next time. Be quiet there. I'm trying to, you know, end the recording. Thank you. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode and I will see you next time. Until then, goodbye. Shush now.